like that's good, and I think we're good. Oh, and I should probably walk on screen. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Chris Ingerson, and it is August 24th, and this is the August 24th TextQuest Devstream. So, today we are going to be continuing where we left off on Tuesday. For a quick recap, on Tuesday we refactored our container code. So, container is no longer isolated to one specific class called container. We now have an iContainer interface that anything can derive from, or sorry, implement, and then we'll be able to have container-like behavior with that. But uh, one of the things that we ran into, and we didn't quite get around to finishing it, but we started talking about it on Tuesday, was burnable objects, or rather, how to control how things should burn. So currently, you can light stuff on fire, assuming that it's set up for it, of course. And the only real thing that would happen right now is that it would burn for a couple of seconds, and then it would just disappear into the ether. But we actually needed to come up with a behavior that's a little bit more flexible than that. And for that, I have come up with these three fields, I suppose. So now we're going to be able to tell an object how it should burn, if it's burnable at all. And those options are either none, meaning it can't burn, permanent, meaning that once it's lit, it will burn until you extinguish it, or temporary, which means that once it's lit, you can't extinguish it, and it will just sort of disappear after a few seconds, which will be the burn duration, of course. And then the burn ID is just a data ID that lets the session know we've lit this thing on fire. So whenever you come back to that scene, if you leave, it'll check for its burn ID and say, okay, am I on fire? If so, I'm going to light myself on fire. And if not, then don't care. Nothing's going to happen. So we need to actually implement this logic because we don't have it yet. This is just a spreadsheet setup. So we're going to come back here, and we are going to first collapse some stuff. And then we're going to go to our interactive object script, which will show up in a second. Actually, you know what? I bet we can just do this. Haha! Interactive object. Go to definition, and we're just going to pull this over. All right. Now, this is going to kind of change how our... well, actually, you know what? I guess this is fine. I was thinking that I was going to have to figure out how to change things that already are burning right now, but we don't really have a decent list of those, and I don't really have good functionality for it. In fact, I'm 90% sure that the only thing right now that's really burnable, quote unquote, in the game is a scarecrow. Technically, you're able to light other things on fire, but it's the only one that actually has a particle effect that plays. So this is going to be actually a pretty good opportunity for us to expand on this. So, all right. First things first, we're going to go ahead and copy this burnable tab. So we're going to copy to, and we're going to copy it to our log file. So, just log. Open target workbook. Move this down here. I'm going to rename this to, do I want to call it burnable? Not super crazy about that. I could call it burn info. I just didn't want to call it info, and I didn't want to include it in here because it just felt awkward having it tacked on. And I think I'm actually going to rename this to burn info. Okay, and that means I'm going to rename this too. So burn info. All right. So with that in place, we're going to go ahead and set this up. So we're going to set our burn type to be, I guess we'll say permanent. Burn duration will be 0, that's fine. And burn ID will be, let's make sure we don't have a comma in there. There we go. Burn ID, we'll probably need to set some stuff up for that. So let's go to collection items, data IDs. All right, and we're going to cabin. All right, let's go to, so we have hearth lit. So the long-term goal is to have the log here be found in the cabin, and that means that most of its data IDs are going to be set there. So let me see something. I don't remember how my own thing works. Do that. Okay, good. So let's get rid of that. All right. This column. So I think I know what I need to do. So we're going to say log underscore taken, and then log burned, I guess. Now here's something actually interesting. Well, maybe it's not that bad. So with the log, I was thinking that we would have sort of like a fireplace stack of wood, or a stack of wood next to the fireplace in the cabin. And my original plan for the log was when you light it on fire, it's not actually permanent, it's temporary. So you light it on fire, it will ignite. There will be particle effects for fire and whatnot. And then after like 3 seconds, it would just fade away. But and the idea there was that once you destroy your log somehow, you can go back to the cabin to get another piece of log that's by the fireplace. But if we do it that way, this actually gets kind of interesting because I would need to detect that a log has been destroyed. No. I think we actually need to expand our burn ID. So we need I think we need an ID for burning and an ID for burned. So burning means that it's lit. Burned means that it's been lit and it's destroyed. So let's change this to burning ID. Insert one right. Burned ID. Okay. So we're just going to copy you, go back here, paste to the right. There we go. Simple as that. All right. So we're going to have not 449, 440. 440. Then 445 for log burned. Actually, no, we'll call it log burning. Then log underscore. Friggin' shift got caught. Log underscore burned. We'll change this to 442, 444. That's probably fine. I don't think I really need anything else on that. All right, so we're gonna come back here. Burn. Oh right, gotta change that. Burning ID. Burning ID. That's gonna be log underscore burning. Then log underscore burned. All right. And we're gonna try this as temporary. And we're going to see what that ends up looking like. All right. So I think this is all we need. Go ahead and open up sidebar. Let that load. Everything should be correct. Go ahead and export that. And I'm going to come back here and show Explorer. Put this over here. Download our log.json file. Finder. All right. And let's go ahead and come back here. And we're currently not actually doing anything with a log, so I probably should. Let me see if I have a log texture currently. I do not think I do. I do not. All right. So we're going to go to Photoshop real quick, and we're going to make a very, very quick and dirty log texture. Or, you know what? No, we don't need to do that. I forgot. I make all of my stuff through TextMesh Pro now. Sorry, that's an old workflow. All right, let's go ahead and make a new game object. And for a sense of scale, we'll go ahead and try to place it somewhere near our lantern here, just to make sure I don't make something that's like a ginormous log. All right, so we're going to call this log. That with model. All right, and now we're going to do create, not UI. Instead, we're just going to say 3D object, TextMesh Pro text. All right. So make sure it's the correct font. And let's see here. That is so freaking huge. 12, probably right. Let's center it both ways. We'll make our text actually handle itself. Let's see. So this is going to say log, and that's probably too big. Keep in mind this is a log that you should be able to carry, so it needs to be sized for a human. Let's see, 1 by 5. Nope, probably 1 by 3. Probably actually closer to 1 by 2. All right, we're going to change this down to 8. We are getting there. 6. Maybe a little closer. How about 4? That's not bad. All right. So a height of 0.5 and a width of 1. That looks good. All right, we're going to change this to be label. And I think we're also going to want to have it rotated 180 degrees. Yep, we do. Okay, there we go. So now that's what it's going to look like from the front. Let's go ahead and change our color real quick. So we want kind of a brownish. So probably something closer to that. Seems fine. Like that. That seems fine. Maybe something a little bit more. There we go. All right. So that's the log. Let's go ahead and add our component. It is an item. Then we're going to need a couple of things. So first off, we're going to need some modules. Well, actually, no, before we do that, let's go ahead and add a box collider. Okay, then we're going to add some modules. We're going to need a collision module and a model module. And I think that's all we're going to need. So let's change our size for our box collider. Usually like 0.1 for the Z. It looks pretty good on the x-axis. Let's change this to 0.5. We might be able to change that a little bit. Let's say 0.4. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. All right. So that's good. We're going to do an object rotation. Not going to be initially enabled. And yeah, I think that's pretty much good. So let's go ahead and we're going to clear this all out. We're going to hit update. Okay. So no problems there, but you'll notice, well, I guess you'll not notice, but we know that none of our fire effects will actually take place yet because we haven't set anything up for that. So we're going to have to add that. We're going to go to interactive object, good, go all the way down here to from JSON. All right. Then we're going to say object info, JSON object burn info is equal to JSON.getObject, and then interactive object utility. We'll just say .info for now, and then we'll go change this real quick. Well, not so much change, just add to it. info underscore burn is just going to be called burn info. All right. Then we're going to go back here and say info underscore burn. Looking good. And we can't do anything yet, so we're going to have to, or we can't populate anything because we don't have fields to populate. So let's see here. I could make this a single thing called burn info, but this will be fine. So we're going to say, I guess I need to add some enums. So give me a second here. Let's see, inventory. It's compiling, so I'm going to give it a second. Hello, Claril. Claril, like that. I forget, do I need to put emphasis on the ill part, or should I just say Claril? Either way, welcome back. Or I suppose, ahoy oi. Let's see here. So I'm looking for my interactive object. Here we are. Interactive object. And do I have my verb type in here? No. Then weird. All right, I'm just gonna put my enum in here. Seems like the best place for it. So we're gonna call this one burn type. All right, so what's on the plate for today? Today we're gonna start off by tackling burning objects. So that's technically a system that existed, but it wasn't really, well, I wouldn't even call it a system in the way that it existed before. I had a really terrible way of having to listen to an object through a different script, and then when it detects that you lit something on fire, it tries to do something. So we're actually going to clean that up because we have to handle burnable objects for the puzzle that we're setting up. So I'm basically redoing that entire system, which again, I guess wasn't a system. So that's what we're starting off with. That'll probably take us a good hour and a half, if all goes well. And then once that's all figured out, we'll switch over to what we were doing on Tuesday, which is figuring or expanding on the puzzle that we've set up for the Heroes Grove area. So we're gonna make this a enum that derives from byte. Make sure that this is in the text quest namespace. Get rid of this stuff. Tackling burning objects doesn't sound like a safe plan. Well, you wouldn't think so, but you know, I'm perfectly safe when it comes to these things. You know, you can only burn things forever or for a short amount of time. You can never do anything besides those two, I guess. Well, and I guess you can not burn things, but who's not going to try to burn things, really? All right, so our burn types are none, which will be set to 0. Permanent. Pretty sure that's what I said. We're going to set that to 1, and then temporary, which is 2. So just those 3 different possibilities. If it's none, it means it's not burnable. If it's permanent, it means once it's lit, it's going to stay lit. And if it's temporary, once it's lit, it will stay lit for a short amount of time, and then it will destroy itself. All right, so we're going to come back here, and we're going to say, all right, here we are. So public burn type. I guess I'll just call it burn type again. Burn type is equal to burn type dot none by default. That's probably the best thing to do. Public float burn duration is equal to, say 0f by default, and then we need to set up data. Oh, by the way, Claril, how are you doing today? I need to make sure that I'm polite and ask everyone how they're doing. I always try, but I usually forget. All right, so then we're going to say public data ID is going to be burning ID is equal to data ID dot none. Then public data ID burned ID is equal to data ID dot none. And again, the difference between these two is burning ID is true while it is burning, and burned ID is set to true once it has burned. So if you light the log on fire, its burning ID will be set to true, and once the log has burned out and it's destroyed itself, then its burned ID will be set to true, and its burning ID will be set to false. So it's just kind of I need that extra layer of discerning what's happening. If I don't have that, then it gets kind of difficult to tell if I should spawn items again. So when you destroy that log, I should spawn another one. But I need to know that there is a specific ID for when the log has burned out. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. Although, you know what, while we're here, I might just go ahead and tooltip this stuff, because I can do that now. And I haven't done that for these scripts. Not that I really need it, but I like to do it anyway. The names this object. No, hold on. The names used to interact or specify this object. Specify this object as the subject of an interaction. Then tooltip, the plural form of this object's names, or plural forms, I suppose. Description, tooltip, the description to show when interacting, not Dave, with this object. Good, last day of work, shifting back into student mode. Yeah, I guess it is August, so it's about that time for everyone to go back to school. Still getting used to not doing that. I think this is the second year that I haven't had school. It's just kind of a weird feeling. Tip. I'm just gonna say the color to highlight this object's name when shown. When it is shown. There we go. Adjectives used to specify this object in an interaction. All right, a couple more, and then we'll be able to actually load stuff. So how this object burns. Burning ID, burned ID, I can't really tooltip those because of their custom property drawers. So we're going to say tooltip, how long an object burns until it destroys itself. Hello, Gelmega. Welcome back. How are you today? Curious why you would want to build an ID for that behavior. What's the advantage of doing it in that way instead of just referring to a boolean, the instance of that object? Well, the problem is that I need these IDs for persistence. So if you light an object on fire, then leave the area and transition to another level and then come back, I need to make sure that that object spawns in, then sees that it's supposed to be on fire, and then it will say, oh, I should light myself on fire. If I just use a bool on an instance, it's possible for that to be incorrect when I come back to a level, either because maybe there are other versions of that prefab that are floating around in the pool, and then that gets instantiated instead. So I need to have a very specific data ID that my system can check for. Yeah, if it was just a like a one-off thing that doesn't need to persist across the level, like if I left and then I came back and I didn't care if it was still burning and I just wanted it to be out, then I would use a bool and that would be fine. But since I need it to persist, I have to use a data ID. All right, so last tooltip. I will just use that. That's perfect. Oops. Now I should probably do that. There we go. All right, so we'll let that compile real quick. Not that it really matters. Although we might get some tooltips on these now. I'm not entirely sure. Probably not, because these are all custom things. That's a lot of wasted effort. Oh well. We might get it on the ignoring groups. I'm not sure. Yes, we do. Ha! Now we have tooltips. Yay. I have it here. Ah, dang it. I don't. Ah, well. Let's go ahead and now we need to go down and have this stuff actually populate itself from JSON. So here we go. Object info. Burn info. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. General info. Here we are. So burn info. Wow, with what I have now, my code already has 7,960 lines. Whew. But that also probably includes 1,000 plus lines of docs, plus the containers that I have. Probably any function I would ever need for now. Well, congratulations. Is that really all the code for your game engine? Yeah, it seems like it would be a lot more than that. All right, so we're going to say this dot burn type is equal to burn info dot get string value. And I'm going to say, oh, you know what I don't have is interactive object utilities for burning things. Burn info public const string burn type is equal to burn type. Public const string burn. Oh, geez, I have to do burn then burning ID. Ugh, that doesn't sound good. Burning ID. Public const string burn burned ID. Burned ID. Oops, not IF. Then finally public const string. Oops, or string. String burn duration is equal to burn duration. There we go. Pretty sure that's all correct. No, memory management and some containers plus other utils like delegates. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I give it 4 hours until you hit the wouldn't it be cool / convenient if I. Yeah. Well, actually, that's the really funny thing is that I mean scripts are just text, so they're incredibly small. Um, and I think I made the comment like 1 or 2 years ago when I was first starting out streaming, because I had worked for 4 hours I think on a stream, and by the end of it I was committing everything, and it ended up being 4 hours of work was 10 kilobytes because it was all code that I had changed. I was just like, man, that is just so deflating, seeing that you really didn't change much data size wise. I mean, obviously a lot of functionality was changed after 4 hours, but still, it's just one of those things that's really kind of funny. All right, I'm going to come back here. So interactive object utility dot burn underscore type, and then we have to say dot to enum, and then burn type. There we go. All right, then we're going to say this dot burning ID is equal to burn. Oh, no. It's collection manager dot find data ID, and then burn info. Oops. Burn info dot get string value interactive object utility dot burn underscore burning ID. Okay, I think that's all we need to do for that. Paste that in. This is going to say this dot burned ID, then burn underscore burned ID, same thing. All right, then finally this dot burn duration is equal to burn info dot get number. No, I guess not get number. Get float value. Then interactive object utility dot burn duration. All right, all that fun stuff. And let's let that compile. Now the downside is because I've added a whole new field that I expect to be there. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna kind of take the lazy way out here. So let's see here. Burn info. We're gonna say new JSON object. So if we don't have the burn info in our JSON, I'm gonna just have an empty JSON object, and then when we look through all of our stuff, I'm just gonna have default values for it. So we're gonna have default value will be burn type dot none dot toString, and then let's see here. I guess we're gonna say none. So same thing for these guys. So yeah, I like to use Dwarf Fortress as a benchmark for raw game code. It's the most complex game ever made. It's like not even 15 megabytes. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're doing pretty much just ASCII art, it does. Oh, hold on. What are you mad about? Why are you? Oh, right. Okay, that's why. Yep. It's always funny to see how small code is. There was actually, I'm just gonna say 0f there. The longest, or not the longest, the smallest game that's like a full 3D game, and actually has sound effects and levels and enemies and AI and all this stuff. Someone made the smallest version they could have possibly made a couple of years back, and it was 500 kilobytes, I think. Now, it wasn't the most complex game ever, but it was still impressive because it was like a full-on first-person shooter in 3D with particle effects, sound effects when enemies died, fully modeled levels and everything. But it was all procedurally generated, and enemy movements were pretty much random and all that. So it was just impressive that you could do that all through code. And the repo I use, which is private and free, is 10 gigabytes per repo. I think I can have an unlimited amount of repos. Yeah, is that just Bitbucket? Uh, yeah, no, that's great to have a small size project. Definitely think that that's something to strive for. Certainly a lot more portable. All right, so now all of that stuff should be true. Well, true. That doesn't mean anything. All of that stuff should be populatable, if that's a word. Although we do need to actually update our interactive object inspector. So we're going to say interactive object inspector. And we have to add those burn fields. So I'm going to just drag this over here. We're going to go all the way up here. And we're going to say, just grab all this fun stuff. Paste this in. All right. All right. GitLab. Dang. Well, I mean, when you think about it, you got to remember how small games used to have to be. I mean, Atari cartridges were, oh man, I don't even, they might have been kilobytes. Maybe. They might have been like 8 kilobytes for an Atari cartridge. I don't even know if that's actually correct. It might be way smaller than that. It might be like a kilobyte. Um, and in theory, if you use assembly to code everything, you could get really, um, really tiny file sizes. I think the entirety of the original Pokemon series was 1 megabyte. I want to say for the entirety of like Pokemon Red or Blue or Yellow. Let's see. Okay, so I gotta copy this. All right. Do burn duration at the final end, then burned ID, then burning ID, and finally burn type. All right. All right. Almost done. The last thing we're going to do is draw info. So let's go to definition here. We have base index plus 1, base index plus 2, base index plus 3. All right, I'm going to say if custom editor utility dot draw header, then base index case index plus 4. Then new GUI content. We're just going to call this one burn info. Info for how objects should burn. Or how this object should burn, I suppose. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to say editor GUI layout dot begin vertical, and then editor styles dot text area. Oops, wow, completely did that wrong. Editor GUI layout dot end vertical. So sorry we're starting out a little slow on the custom editor scripting. I should have done this today, but been a little cramped for time over the past 2 days. Not a lot of time to work on the game. Been kind of tough. Oh, it's 32 kilobytes? Okay. I thought it was kilobytes, but I thought it was lower end. Yep. That seems about right. Yeah. Well, I kind of feel bad because I'm doing custom editors for something that already exists. It's actually really cool to do custom editors for brand new things that don't have like an established thing. And plus, I mean, my custom editors here are just these monstrosities that I don't really like to look at. They're not very pretty. But yeah, I've had some really fun times doing custom editor scripting, actually. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do all this stuff. So now we're going to need editor GUI, editor GUI layout, property field, m burn type. Okay, simple as that. And then we're going to say if m burn type dot int value is greater than int of burn type dot none. Okay, simple as that. Then we're going to say let's see, what's the next one? Editor GUI layout dot property field m underscore burning ID. All right. Actually, phooey. We're gonna have to change that, won't we? So I guess I can't make that an if statement. Well, no. I kind of should, I suppose. So we're just gonna say, you know what? Let's do it. I'm just gonna make it a switch statement. So switch m burn type dot int value, then case int burn type dot permanent break, and case cast int burn type dot temporary and break. All right. Well, I mean, feel free to ask any questions if you have questions about custom editor scripting, because I've been doing it pretty heavily for the past year and a half, so I'm fairly confident in how to do stuff now. It's certainly a weird train of thought to get used to, but once you understand how it works, it's not that bad. It's more tedious than anything else. All right, so we're going to say, we'll just paste this in actually. Property field, so if it's permanent, we just want to know what its burning ID is. We don't care about the duration or the burned ID, because permanent means that it won't destroy itself. Okay, so if it's temporary, though, we're going to need both of those. And we're also going to need one for the burned ID and then the burn duration. So m burn duration and m burn burned ID. There we go. And I think that's all we really need. So we're going to let that compile, and then we should see it pop up right here. Yeah, there's actually some pretty fun functionality built into the editor system. It can be tricky to do really crazy things, but it can be pretty fun too if you manage to get stuff to work properly. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and change this just to look at it. Permanent, we have a burning ID. Tooltips, haha. Temporary, we have everything else. good. Okay, sweet. Let's go ahead and update. Pow! Oh, right. It's going to complain because I don't have my ID set up properly yet. Okay, so, well, that works. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save that. We're going to jump back to our scripting here. Let's go to log, close this. We have temporary, so I'm going to set this burn duration to 10. That seems fair. Maybe, well, trying to think. You know what? No, I'm going to make this one 0, and I'm going to make it permanent. All right. Let's go ahead and export that again, and then I'm going to download my data IDs here. So download as, comma separated values, and then we'll update our cabin data IDs. All right, so we're going to say downloads, then items, log. Log. It's probably way at the bottom, isn't it? Nope. Oh, good. That means it's somewhere weird. It should be alphabetical, but I don't see it. All right. Oh, wait, I haven't exported it, have I? There we go. Yeah. Let's try this again. I exported it, but I didn't download it. Now I've downloaded it. All right. There it is. Replace file. Just saw the crazy things you'd been doing and had a... Yeah, again, it's just one of those things that's really weird because there's not great documentation on it. But once you sort of dig into it, you can do some pretty cool stuff. And it's certainly a lot easier than it used to be. It used to be really nightmarish. But I think around like 5.1, maybe 5.0, they changed how their editor scripting default behaviors looked, and it made things just look way better. Oh yeah, and reflection is actually something that I still don't do very often. It's something that I need to get more into, but I haven't had a pressing need for it, so I've avoided it for the time being. In any case, we're going to go to cabin, and let's see, there should be a cabin data ID somewhere around here. Surely. It's this. Yes, there we go. Show and Explorer. I really hope that I don't have to... I might end up doing that, actually, but we'll see. Downloads, and we're looking for data IDs. So, data IDs cabin. All right. I'm going to update this real quick. Ah! And I think we're good. Cool. Go ahead and save this. We're going to go to our Grove collection manager. Let's see, level data ID collection Grove. Looks like I'm going to need one from the cabin as well. That's fine. All right, so let's try updating this again, and it should be correct this time. Ta-da! Permanent and log burning. So, reflection is... Most commonly, it's used to dig into things like DLLs that you don't have source code access to, but you can sort of get access to features that are hidden away. So things that are not explicitly exposed to the outside can be obtained or reached through reflection. It's really weird and awkward, but it lets you basically reach into areas that you normally couldn't. For example, a lot of times when you see really crazy Unity editor behaviors, that's because people are doing things with reflection to make things look or behave in an expected way. Or potentially, I guess they had source code access and then they could do that stuff. But more common than not, they don't do that. So, hello, Z-Link. Welcome back. How are you doing today? All right, so we have our log burning. Oh, you know what I did forget? We are going to have... I guess I shouldn't make it a fire effect, but for all intents and purposes, it's going to be a fire effect. So I might just make it a fire effect for now. So we're going to have a public fire effect, and then we'll just call it burn effect. Tooltip. It's going to be the how do I want to phrase this? Yeah, see, that's the thing. 9 times out of 10, for at least in Unity's case, reflection is used to dig into C++ code to grab stuff. So it's not something that you normally need, but it's something that is useful. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want my computer to be able to become introspective. That might be a little dangerous. Let's see. Not this. The effect shown while the object is burning. While this object is burning. All right. So we're gonna say we're gonna have to add that field, obviously. So we're gonna say burned ID. So this is gonna be burn effect. And I'm gonna come down here to burn duration, paste this in, burn effect. All right, and then last but not least, we need to say property field m_burn effect. Same thing here. All right, so now we should see another field pop up here. And then we'll be able to light our log on fire. We won't be able to do much with it right now, but we should be able to technically light it on fire. I wish I had that, but I guess I don't. So, let's see, particles. Oh, I have a particle module. I don't know if I need that anymore. All right. So I'm going to break this out, actually. So we're going to do something here. I'm going to stop this simulation. I'm going to go ahead and just... No, let me select this first off. Okay, so I need to make these unique torches. So let's see. Combat, environment, levels, intro. Oh, not intro, sorry. So used to going there. Overworld. Let's go to create folder. We're going to say Grove. So we're going to have a torch Valor. And then a torch Courage. Alright. Next, we are going to want to pull out our fire from here. Continue. And I'm just going to make this into a prefab here. Are we just going to get all of the possible definitions for reflection? Is that what it is? I think we're running out. We described what it means in theory, what it means in application, and what it means in definition. We're running out. All right, so all of this stuff is fine. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to revert this. And on our log here, we're going to just drag our fire effect in here. Okay. Now, actually, I probably need to transform. Actually, no, I did that wrong. I was stupid there. I'm just going to drag this down here. Stop, position it, simulate, does that look right? It's a little intense, but it's fine for what we need from it. So we're going to stop that. And we're just going to go ahead and drag this in right there. All right. So finally, we're going to go ahead and create our item prefab. Let's see, item ID collection, item database. We're going to look for, let's see, gem sword. Oh man, I guess these are all old. Well, that's fine. Sword locked. Cabin. Here we are. Items and log. Boop. Very, very simple and easy. And we're also going to need to add item database. Need to add the log to that. All right. So currently, if we do anything, nothing's really going to happen. We don't have anything actually set up for lighting the object on fire. Now it'll listen for it, and I think right now it's actually set up to accept it. So if we go to burn or light, it says lit. Okay. Although I'm pretty sure that we need, let's go to light, required items. Yeah, we need a lantern for that, which is fine. And let me think, do I need to do anything else? Yes, I probably do. And, oh boy, this is, oh no. Oh, this is going to be interesting. We're going to be adding a new success ID. We have not done that in forever. Okay. So we're going to go to interactive object. And let's see here. Actually, we're going to need to go to verb. Man, that almost never gets... I've not had to adjust those in forever. Verb. Of course, that's not going to give me... Let's do verb.verb. Will that give me something? Yes. There we go. Okay. So, success effect IDs, which is something that I don't think I've ever really talked about on the stream, although I can make it derived from byte. Haha! Save some memory. It's interesting. What is even using this? It's not namespaced, which is weird to me. I'm going to namespace this. I don't like having this not be namespaced. Namespace sleepyowl.textQuest. There we are. And there we are. Last thing to do is do an advanced save because I'm pretty sure this has not been modified in forever. So. Oh geez, how many definitions? I guess you could list them all. Although you got to be careful. I don't think you'll be flagged for spamming as long as it's not capitalized. So, although actually I think I turned that off. I think I turned off cap spamming in my Nightbot stuff, which I forgot to turn on. Dang it! I forgot to turn on Nightbot. Oh well, now he's on. Okay, so let's see. We have success effects for those, and by those I mean all of you, because I don't think I've talked about this in over 2 years. Success effects basically are what determine, or they determine what happens when you interact with an object. So if you remember from our log, if we go to the verbs, we have an effect here, and that basically determines what happens. So add to inventory means that this object will be added to your inventory when you use the take verb, or a take verb. And it will be removed from your inventory when you use the a drop verb. So we need to add a new one for burn. Oh no, haha, we already have one for light. Yay, I don't have to do that. Okay, well that makes things a lot easier. So I can change this actually. This is going to be light. Hooray! And for once, past Chris was not a total idiot. Let's see. Longest one transformation of a figure in which each point is replaced by a point symmetric with respect to the line or plane. Okay. So we're going to expect to see a work in progress on stream because I want to play once I get my PC. Or on Steam. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to do something like early access. Oh, and I should probably make this be extinguish. Because I don't feel like this is a game that lends itself well to early access. Outside of something like a soft launch for like a beta test sort of period. But it's not procedurally generated, it's not multiplayer, which means that you're not going to get a lot of content besides what I have in there in the moment. Thank you! Oh, thank you, Z-Link. I gotta get that stuff to pop up still. So I'm still I can't say when you'll see a work in progress on Steam, but you can download the demo from the website, which aha, I probably actually should have a command for demo to show that. But in any case, let's go ahead and save this. Now that we know that we have that effect in there, although that means I do need to download this again. So let's export that. And come down over here, download our log file. So yeah, you can download the current, well, not the current, but a demo from the website, and that gives a pretty decent snapshot of the progress that's being done. It's not really way up to date. Um, yeah, yeah. Now I remember that you have a Chromebook, um, but I can't. Yeah, until you get your PC built, I can't really help there because I have tried making WebGL builds before, and it runs, but it's not really that performant because you're trying to push a bunch of stuff through the browser. Did I already download it? I think I did. Okay, so let's go to downloads, then we'll go to items, then we'll drag log back in. All right, let's go ahead and refresh this. Clear my consoles. Okay, nothing crazy happened. And let's check our output. Success effect is light. Good. All right. Now, I'm actually kind of curious because I don't think I have anything set up for that. At least I don't think I do. We might. Let's see. Text only, speak text, redirect, add to inventory, remove from inventory, drop item. All right. I do not. Cool. We're going to add one. So case, success effect ID dot light. Then we'll say break. Then case success effect ID dot extinguish. Then we'll break. So we need to have special behaviors for these when you burn them. WebGL builds take extremely long or extremely slow. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah, see, I remember the Unity web player too. It was, I mean, it was a plugin, which means that it wasn't great, but it was during the time of internet plugins, and now we live in the world where native support for everything is kind of what everyone wants. So WebGL is getting much better. Making a build in WebGL now is certainly not terrible. It's just annoying because you lose a lot of stuff that you would get normally in standalone builds. Like you can't have anti-aliasing. You can, I guess, if you have post-process effects, but it's really, really intensive, and that gets really, really tough. But the biggest problem for me personally is memory usage, because browsers have a really absurdly tiny amount of memory that they'll let you use, unless you go into your preferences for the browser and say you can use like a gigabyte of memory. And then it gets really, really constraining to try and make things work within the base limitations of browsers. It's just a lot of effort. It is probably something that I should look at more, just as a nice test demo, or I don't know. It might be cool to have maybe custom games or something like that. Let's delete this. That's kind of weird. Okay. So I don't need to worry about the actual output stuff. This will all handle it, which is fine. But I do need to handle things like this. All right. So, you know what I do need is I need a private bool for when the object is burning. So let's see here. We're going to come up to protected object ID. We'll go ahead and say private bool is burning is equal to false. Oh, no. There we go. Oh, that's true. I haven't even really considered lighting. Like, I've never tried to make a build with good lighting for WebGL. I would not imagine that it works very well. I would imagine you get like 1 point light and one direction light. That's it. Although WebGL 2.0 is supposed to be uh, deployed to, like that's going to be the target in Unity 2017.2. And I think that's because WebGL 2.0 is now in Chrome. It's in testing for Firefox and Safari. And I don't know about Edge, but who cares about Edge, really? Okay, so I have a isBurning bool that needs to be set to true whenever you actually light an object on fire. That way you can't light it on fire and then light it on fire again. You need to be able to say, no, you have to stop. All right, so we're going to say, down here, light. All right, so we're going to say if isBurning, else, we're just going to say, we're going to say the object is already lit, probably. Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to say parser dot output result. Yeah, it's fine. The name is all. Oops, not is burning. Oops, almost forgot my space. Is already on fire. All right. Do I care about anything else? I don't even think I'll integrate WebGL in my engine unless WebGL and things like that have to do with browser stuff improves. I'd also have to write a JS loader. The game and JavaScript's design is crap. Yeah, it really is not great. I really don't like JavaScript. So we're going to say return here. And, all right, so if you light an object and it is not currently burning, then we have to set up fire effects and do all that stuff. So we're going to say burn effect, not burn ID, burn effect dot ignite. And then we have to, geez, okay. Coroutines. Yep, coroutines. Yep, coroutines. All right, I'm also going to say this dot burn type is equal to burn type dot none. And this dot burning ID is equal to dot ID dot none. Sorry, this is the reset function. It's important for me to actually reset information whenever I update information. Otherwise, you'll get stacked stuff because it doesn't properly clear the previous information. So I try to reset these when I call a reset on the object. .id.none. And this dot burn duration is equal to 0f. All right, let's see here. When I come up to output result. Here we are. Oh, that's right. I needed a coroutine. That's what I went down here to do. So we're going to say protected enumerator. And this is going to be burn coroutine. So we're going to say float t is equal to 0f while t is less than burn duration. We're going to say t plus equals time dot delta time, then yield return null. And then we're going to say, let's see, burn coroutine. So then we're going to say burn effect dot, no, not stop all coroutines, dot extinguish, I think. Yeah. Okay. Then finally we are going to say, ooh, this might be a little crazy too. We're going to want to say pool manager dot recycle game object. Eee. Not crazy about that, but I think that's what it's going to have to be. Let's see, extinguish. I'm a little worried that might actually mess with my pool system. So I'm going to put a to-do here. Handle objects that are not supposed to pool. All right. The pool system will handle objects that aren't pooling objects or pooled objects, but in theory, if you kept burning something that wasn't a pool object, then over time a lot of pools would build up, and that wouldn't be great. Need to write a web plugin. Probably learn TypeScript, JavaScript++. Aha. Yeah, I'm just really not a fan of all things JavaScript. I really don't like doing it. I really hate doing JavaScript for web development. It just drives me nuts. Okay, so burn effect, extinguish, and we're recycling. That's pretty much all we want to do. Although we're going to say session dot, no, can't do that yet. We got to say if burned ID does not equal data ID dot none. Then we're going to say session dot set bool burned ID true. And we're also going to say if burning ID does not equal data ID dot none session dot set bool burning ID then false. All right, let's see. Do we care about anything else? Not particularly. So I'm going to go ahead and say session. Oh, hold on. Again, we got to do the check there. Now the reason that I do these checks, and actually no, it might not even matter. Let me peek definition here. Hooray! I don't need to do that because I wrote that into my own function as a safety measure. All right, much easier. The main reason I was checking to make sure that it wasn't none is because it's pointless to say something that doesn't have a data ID. So let's go up here. I'm going to set that to be true. All right, and then after that, we're going to say if burn type is equal to burn type dot temporary start coroutine burn coroutine. Simple as that. Not like you have a choice for web. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're talking about WebAssembly, although I can't imagine that that would be better. I mean, technically it would be better in the sense that it's more efficient and better, or more performant, but I imagine that coding for it will be worse. Although admittedly, I haven't actually looked at WebAssembly beyond the announcement for WebAssembly's existence. I haven't actually looked at what coding for it would look like. In any case, okay, an inflammable one, huh? I guess that doesn't really matter, so I think we'll be fine here. I think that's all we need to do for light, and we're going to do pretty much the exact same thing for extinguish, but in reverse. So we're going to say if not is burning, we're going to say the blank is not on fire. Then we're going to say burn effect dot extinguish. We're going to set burning ID to false, and we will also stop all coroutines here. Stop all coroutines. Okay, I think that'll work. So we're going to try burning this log. We're going to see what happens. I'm kind of curious. So, best choice as always, don't do web. Yeah, I guess that's true. That is a good choice, but also I feel like it's... let's go ahead and apply this. Ooh. Okay, we don't want you to be static at all. Yes, change children. Okay. Let's check our light. No shadows, point. It's going to be real time only. Direct multiplier will be 0. No shadows, that's fine. I think everything's good there, so we're going to reapply those changes after I stop my particle effects. All right, so we're going to try burning this log and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's not like web development is bad. I think you can do some really cool stuff over the web. It's just really it's really hard to design for it and to develop for it. It gets very, very tedious very, very quickly. I'm going to take, hold, and light, oh, not amp, and light lamp. Okay. Ah, dang it. I forgot. Gotta make sure this is the interactive layer. Okay. We're going to try burn lamp. Oh, that's interesting. Burn with lamp? That's interesting. Oh, you know what it is? I bet that there's, I bet item is overriding it. Okay, we have to go to item and see what it's doing for lit objects. Let's see, so that's removed from inventory. Equip, unequip, light. Here we are. Yes, that's. You can't verb the name. Okay. Okay, I can finally start on my linked list. Discovered quite some bugs in my vector when checking some things after adding some functions to it. Well, that's always how it goes, though. You fix one thing and then you break another. Although while we're in here, I'm going to go ahead and add some functionality to my base interactive object class. Whoop. Come up here. Lower. Now, where are you? Name. Public string name. Lower. Get return. Application that is plain. Question mark. Not object. Name lower. Dot is null or empty. Question mark. Object name lower. Oh, geez, come on. Seriously. Just gonna copy all of this crap. Name 0.2 lower. Dots 2 lower. And there we are. Almost done. Hold on. And where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I think we're good. All right. Go ahead and save that. I mostly just did that because I can cut down on garbage generation. So no reason to have a 2 lower for the name when I can just have a actual thing that I store. Interactive object utility, and I don't remember. Let's find all references here. It's going to be a lot, though. Actually, it's just an item, so we can just do this. Haha! Let's see. All right. So I think what I'm going to need to do here is I'm actually going to have to change a little bit how items are expected to interact with one another, or well, how they're expecting to. Yeah, I probably need to have. I might need to reevaluate how this is just done. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kind of having fun replacing name.toLower with name lower. All right. So yeah, so currently the way items are set up to burn is they have to be in your inventory, and that's because items, well, burnable items were initially conceived as like your lantern, so you don't want to be able to light the lantern when it's not in your inventory. Um, Although, I guess I don't really need that check. There's no real reason to do it that way. Hmm. All right. What if? I don't. I guess I don't need it to be in your inventory anymore. That kind of makes sense. That would be my cat. Yes, I see you, cat. Um. Yeah. Okay. So we can reduce this a fair amount by just doing this. And let's see. Get rid of this. So now we no longer care if the object is in your inventory. Although we do have a problem with this, is light source. If it's not, then you can't light it? I don't know about that. Um, oh, geez, we're probably rubbing up against an old system. That's probably going to mean that I want to refactor it. Let me see what islet does. It's been a while since I've had to really mess with this. Oh, good. Okay. Then I'm fine with that. Crud, though. Let me peek this. Islet, is that just a protected wool? You know what? Just going to change this. We're going to get rid of you. Come over here to interactive object. We're going to go all the way up here. And we are going to rename is burning to is lit. Now all those red squiggles should go away. Oh, and I need to make it protected. There we go. Paste. Dang it. Extra space. And there you go. All the red squiggles went away. Well, thank you very much, Z-Link. I probably should set up the Steam page, so it's got like an official Steam page. I just haven't really taken the time to do that. But it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do. In any case, let me... dang it. Hand verb. Do I have require equip? I don't. It's gonna drive me nuts. I really. Okay. We might have a inventory check then, but only if it's necessary. No, that doesn't. No, how about change this behavior? Sorry, I'm kind of humming and hawing because I'm trying to think about how to what should happen when you try to light the log while it's in your inventory, basically. What it did before is it would say, okay, is the log in your inventory? Yes. Okay, is it a light source? No, then you probably shouldn't be able to burn it. So we don't really want to do that anymore. And instead we need to open it up. So this old framework I don't think will really work the way that we want it to. You could almost do it on stream too. I probably could not actually, because I think there's some sensitive IDs that I have to enter through the Steam Workshop, or not Steam Workshop. That might be what it's called. I forget. Steamworks, the like back end for developers on Steam. Well, see, that's the thing. I feel like if you try to light something on fire while it's in your inventory, it should tell you it's not smart to light things on fire that you're carrying, um, or something like that. Just because I don't want people to accidentally burn stuff in their inventory and then not realize that it's on fire, especially since it probably should either hurt the player or, I don't know, do some sort of effect. So we run into just really weird cases where you have things like the lantern, which need to be lightable, but only when they're equipped. And you have things like the log, which need to be lightable or ignitable when they're not in your inventory, but not when they're in your inventory. uh, Jeez. Okay. Let me think. I think what I need to do is have a like burn type kind of. Oh, and also, well, actually no, it's fine because I put that in the same thing. So go to is light source. Go to definition. I have equip pose. It's not really what I want. Okay. Let's go ahead and save real quick. I'm going to make a new enum because I think I need one. Log is already lit. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm going to go back to item here. Once Unity compiles, of course. And I can't say burn type because I'm already using that. Instead, I need to say, well, could I roll it into that? No, that would be dumb. So, item burn type? No, that doesn't make sense. This is an enum that's going to determine how items burn in or outside of your inventory. Can't call it burn type though. Item burn type. I honestly can't think of another. I really don't like calling it that, and I hate that I'm going to have two different burn types in the same thing for items. But kind of what I'm going to have to do, I guess. Let's see. Get rid of .id collection. Get rid of verb. And okay. So we're going to make this another byte enum, or not. There we go. Come on. Enum. Text quest. Get rid of our using because we don't need that here. All right, so item burn type is going to be, I guess, none. It's going to be set to 0. Well, see, burn rate is also deceptive because we have a burn duration and a burn type, which can be, burn type can either be none, permanent, or temporary. Then burn duration is the actual length that it burns, like how long it takes for it to burn. But item burn type it's not really doing burn rate. It's more when can you burn it. So we're going to say in inventory, or how about none? Anytime. Well, we'll say never. Anytime. 1. In inventory is equal to 2, and equipped is equal to 3, and finally not in inventory is equal to 4. And actually we'll reverse these. So 2 and 3. There we go. All right, I think that works. So you have burn duration was burn rate, burn false. So I think this will work. So item burn type never means that you can't burn it. Anytime means that you can burn it anywhere, whether it's in your inventory, whether it's equipped, or whether it's not in your inventory. Equipped means that you have to have the item actually equipped to burn it. In inventory means that you can burn it if it's in your inventory at all. And not in inventory means that it's not in your inventory, obviously. So I think those are the stages that I would really desire. I can't really think of anything else that would be good. I don't feel the need to specify in inventory but not equipped. So although actually I guess these can be mutually exclusive. So equipped or in inventory, but not both. All right. So we're gonna go back to item. All right, and we're gonna say item type. I can't call it burn type, so I'm gonna have to say public item burn type. Item burn type. Never, I guess. I hate doing that. Okay, so that's going to require some changes to our template for item down here. So we need to add burn type, I guess. So type, equip type, insert right. Say burn type. Okay. And that's probably fine. I'm going to comment this. If I could remember how. Insert comment. There we are. We're going to say, I'm just going to copy these. Where are you? There you are. I really should do this more often anyway. I don't use comments as much as I should here. So comments, these are just going to be the types that it could be. And all right, so we're going to say that's fine for now. Let's go back to log, go to our item. Insert one right, paste this in. Burn type is going to be not in inventory. God, that's a hideous name. All right, then we're going to export again. One of these days we'll be done. Export. Let's go down here to you. Are you good? I am. Okay, download our log again. Close here, and let's go ahead and populate all that information. Replace file and destination. All right. Oh wow, it's already been an hour and a half. Dang it, I was way off. Well, kind of. I assumed that it would take about an hour and a half for us to do the burn stuff, and it's been an hour and a half, so might be closer to 2. In any case, item burn type. All right, so we have to go to our item from JSON script real quick. Item, and all the way down here at the bottom from JSON, we're going to need to say this dot item burn type is equal to object info. Oh, come on. Object info dot, why is it object info dot JSON? That's super weird. Well, whatever. Object info dot get string value interactive object utility dot burn underscore burn type. Same thing. Then we're going to say dot to enum item burn type. Did I not specify what type of burn type it was? Was I that? Okay, no good, I did. Whew. I was a little concerned for a second there. I'm gonna be very, very sad. All right. Let's go ahead and go back to Unity. And I think we'll be able to populate that. Oh, we need to have it draw though. So, item inspector. All right. Copy this. Item burn type. Item burn type. Item burn type. And finally, draw item info, item type, and this will be editor GUI layout dot property field m item burn type. All right, whew. Almost there. Now we can change our logic for burning items to check what they're or how they should burn, I suppose. So we're going to say if, no, not even if. This is not great. Jeez. Okay, let me think about how to structure this. Well, the light source check is now pointless. So we're going to say geez, this is just going to suck. Okay. We'll do a switch statement to start off, and that's going to be item burn type. We're going to say case item burn type dot never. We're going to do something specific. Then we're going to do case item burn type dot anytime break. Just copy and paste this a couple of times. Okay. Dot equipped dot in inventory, then dot not in inventory. All right. So, jeez, I'm gonna have so much duplicate code here. It's not great. Not great at all. Don't really like that. Okay. Are vectors how you're determining position, or are you just using vectors in the sense of trajectory for your stuff, Jelmega? Okay. So never, anytime. Okay. Jeez. See, that's the thing. I don't know if I'm ever actually going to let you burn anything in your inventory. I think I'll leave that in there for now, but I am not convinced that I'm going to let you do that. So, all right. Let's go ahead and start copying this stuff. So we're going to say if equipped and not equipped. Am I already in a switch? I'm already in a switch. Oh boy. That gets way more complicated. Crap. That means I do have to move everything out of here. Okay. Frack. Okay. Vector as in like container with an arrow. Oh, okay. Sorry. When you say vector, I think Unity vector and vector coordinates. So vector as in x, y, and z coordinates, or x and y coordinates, or normalized directions, stuff like that. That's how I tend to think of vectors. Or that's what I think of when I think vectors. Is equipped. Right. So if your item burn type is equipped, that means that it has to be equipped. Um, Otherwise, we're going to say, this is not great. So I have to move this islet code, I think, into each of the specific spots. Actually, no. Instead, I can do this. Oh boy, I almost never do this, though. I always feel like using go-tos is sloppy, but not sure what else to do here, so I don't really care about anything else in that case. If not in inventory, I think I can say is in inventory. So we're going to say if is in inventory, then we're going to go to breakout, and we're going to say I guess we'll do this. We're going to say output is equal to that. Except I think we're going to say it's probably not a good idea to light something. Oh wow, this is a stupid sentence. On fire. That's a terrible phrasing, but I think it's fine for now. And then finally, anytime we don't really care, and I guess we're going to do this for our never. Okay. The plus name lower plus is oops, almost forgot my space, is very much inflammable. All right. Let's see. But my own better version, which is the worst possible state, is 10 to 20% faster than a standard vector. All right. Makes sense. I'm assuming that it's a more trimmed down version of it too, to be more what you need it to be. So we're gonna try this. I think this will work. I think. Although I'm not going to worry too much about extinguish being in specific spots. It's more about the islet part that I care about. Okay, I think this might do it. Maybe. Actually, you know what it's going to do is it's going to not light anything on fire. It's going to say that it's lit, but it's not going to actually do anything. Crap. So that means I got to move this. Where are you? Do verb. Here we are. So I'm actually going to move this into a function. So we're going to say protected, I guess virtual void ignite. Okay, so we're going to change that to ignite. And then we're going to have something similar for extinguish. Protected, virtual void, extinguish. Paste that in. Paste this in. All right. The reason that I did that is because item is obviously overriding our base functionality, and I didn't want to script all that again. So, hello, Scorpio. Welcome back. We are currently refactoring how things burn, or how to burn things, I suppose. Not trimmed down, more like an extended version, because I want it to have a general class. So I can use another project. That makes sense. So yes, today we are currently working on burning things. And hopefully we'll be able to finish that fairly soon so that I can actually do what I wanted to do today, which was getting the torch puzzle set up, well, expanded on. Okay, is lit is equal to true, and I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to say go to definition. When we set, we're going to say, we'll just go ahead and say if is lit, ignite, else extinguish. Okay. Now it should actually light the log on fire when we try to light it on fire. At least I hope it does. And once we can select this, let's see, we're going to go to item info. We have item burn type. We're going to change this to not in inventory. And I think that's all we need. Cat, yes, I see you. Sorry, my cat really wants attention for some reason. All right, so let's try this. We're going to try to burn us a log. All right, so we're going to say take, hold, and light lamp. Oh, dang it. Okay. Keep forgetting to do this. This needs to be in the interactive layer, otherwise it won't work. All right. Oh, dang it. I'm just going to try to burn it. Self. Okay. Just thought I'd try. Making sure that it can't burn without the lamp. So take, hold, and light lamp. Burn with lamp. Ah ha 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 ha! Yes! It burns! Beautiful. Alright, so that is our burning. Let's try. Ooh, right. Right. So currently what you're seeing happening, I can't interact with it again. I probably could if I... Oh, no, it's a collider. Oh, it's a collider, really? Ah! Okay, we're going to change that. No, you're a collider. Ah, right. We're going to change this to ignore raycast layer. Yes, we'll change children, I guess. Might as well. Okay, let's go ahead and apply that again. Let's try this again. Just have it sit in your hand and slowly your screen turns red until you fall over dead. Alright, so we're going to take, and I don't think we have to be holding it right now. So we're going to say light with lamp. Yep. And now if I try to click, there we go. It should burn quite nicely. Oh man. I have to change the description. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna change this. We're gonna go up to item. Do I override description? I'm pretty sure that I can. We're gonna go all the way up here. Let's see, object description. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, here we are, description. Okay. So I'm going to override my description. Can I do that? Yes, good. So we're going to say public override description. All right, and we're going to say get return base.description plus is lit question mark something and then something. Oh, yes, I know, you're not happy. There we go. So if it is lit, we're going to say something about it being lit. And then if it's not lit, we don't actually want to append anything. So we're going to say base.description plus is lit the plus name plus string. Sorry, name lower. Oh, no. That's fine. Is on fire. Okay. Let's take a look at that. See how it looks. Oh, by the way, completely forgot to ask, Scorpio. How are you doing today? Sorry. Apparently I'm very rude today. Keep forgetting to ask people that. Alright. I'm going to try burning this log again. And now it will hopefully actually say that it is on fire. So take light with lamp. The log is on fire. A log from a fireplace. It should burn quite nicely. The log is on fire. Okay. So now here's the problem. I bet if I take it, yeah, that was gonna happen. Not the best. Although that's really interesting because that means that. So I'm gonna go to pool manager. I think it goes. Where are you? Global. Here we are. Inventory. Oh, it's because I just disabled the model. Okay. That's funny. So yeah, it needs to extinguish itself. Okay, so we're gonna go over here to phooey. Frack. Yeah, this is not great. So if you take it, should it turn itself off? I kind of feel like it should extinguish itself before you pick it up. Yeah, that's probably the best choice. Dang it, it's going to make things way more complicated. It's going to get messy really quickly. Okay, so add to inventory. If is in inventory, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And I guess all right, I guess we'll do this. If is lit and I guess I should make that capital I. If is lit and item burn type is equal to item burn type dot not in inventory. Or maybe does not equal in inventory. No. We'll just do this for now to see if this feels right. We're going to say I have to put this below output here. We're going to say output is equal to. Did I make this a string? How many times do I rebuild you? I guess I really don't. Alright. I feel like I should make that a string builder, but it's fine. We're going to say output is equal to this plus output. And we're going to say extinguished, then new line. Do that. All right. Oh, and I probably should say is lit is equal to false. Okay. So now when I pick up the log after I've lit it on fire, it should say extinguished and then turn the fire off. Ideally. Hopefully it will. Not asking that is not rude. It's called being busy with game development. I don't know. I still like to try to be polite when I can. I'm from the Midwest. Hospitality and politeness is the only thing we have. Let's see. Crud. I forgot to do something for work, and I need to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say take light with lamp. Take. Well, you didn't work. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Jelmega. Good luck optimizing your vectors. So why didn't you fire? Let's go ahead and let's see. Cached inventory can carry. Oh, right. I know why. I think. So this was just saying if our verb.items.count is equal to 0. And if it is not, look for cached inventory dot obtain item. That's all fine and good. Here we are. So I think I want to say sentence.indirect object is no. This is super weird. I'm not entirely sure where it's going. I'm going to say debug.log. Oops. Test. So I'm going to throw in some debugs here to try to isolate what's happening here. I'm not entirely sure that this is being fired. All right. I want to at least get the burning stuff done today. Ah, crud. Uh-oh, that's not good. Torch. Oh, okay, then we don't care. There you go. Ah, son of a... Okay. This is why we override. Oh, right, it's... Oh, crud. That's fine. Protected. So we might end up changing those back to public, but for now I think it's fine. Yeah, I hate that serialized multiple times thing. That's something that's gotten me a couple of times. So it's mostly just because it sucks to come up with different names for things that are very similar. Hello, Tiladar. Welcome to the Devstream. How's the game coming? Well, you can burn things, so pretty good. We're currently trying to get the particulars of burning to behave correctly. So, oh, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and take the log. Okay, so it does get through there, at the very least. I'm also going to take this, and I'm going to say burn log with lamp. How to get it to light something you're carrying on fire. Good. That's what we wanted. I don't think I can hold log. Good. Then we're going to drop log. Say burn log with lamp. All right. And oh yeah, after we take it, it'll actually rotate it for us. Ah, that's really funny. Like everything's gonna billboard towards me. Then if we take this again, why did it work that time? What the heck? Okay, that was weird. It didn't change anything besides the debug, really. So that's super weird. Go ahead and get rid of that debug and try it again, make sure it all works. How long have you been working on it? I've been working on this for about 4 years now. About 2 years ago, I scrapped all of my art and started redoing it all. So you can see, actually in the given scene, there's some mix of old and new. So I'll go ahead and play and show you that. So it's about a 4-year project, and I'm doing all of the art, design, programming, sound, everything on it. So this is all new stuff. You can see that we have we have normal maps, we have metallic roughness maps. Things just look a little bit more. I know realistic is a poor choice of words, but I can't really think about it, or what else to call it. But it gives nice little texture to everything. So ivy, for example, actually looks like it has veins on its leaves, things like that. And then compare that to these old torches, which are really terrible. And actually, they do not have light maps baked on them right now. So this is yeah, the torches here are really old models that I need to redo, and pretty much everything else in the scene is brand new for the most part. So you can see a good mix of terrible oldness and new hotness over here. So I'm going to take my lamp. I'm going to try to burn the log, then take it. So burn log with lamp. Take. Okay. Yeah, my only wish there is that I could decouple the burning effect so that it would more naturally fade away. So I might actually change the ignite and extinguish stuff to be a pooling solution that we need to do. So it's going to instantiate the fire effect and then despawn it when we don't need it anymore. So is Sleepy Owl Software just you then? It is just me. I am the only person. I will eventually need to expand its roster to include some key people. Well, key positions, because I can't do everything very well. I'm best with art and programming and design, but I'm pretty abhorrent when it comes to sound and music, especially music. All right, so we have our log working. I am going to change. I'm going to change our fire effects to be a prefab based thing. So let's go to is lit for my item, which is here. I go to ignite. All right. So we're going to change, instead of burn effect.ignite, we're going to change it to burn effect is equal to pool manager dot request burn. No, I'm sorry, not burn effect. Fire effect. Then burn effect. Oops. Effect. And it will be parented to this object. So I guess we'll say, do I have a cache to transform? I don't. I really should. Okay, so we're just going to say transform for now, even though that's terrible. Sorry, not burned effect, just burn effect. In any case, when are you looking to hire those people by? Well, see, that's where the big problem comes in. I have a budget of $0, so it's very difficult to say hire. It'd be more like cooperate with or coordinate with. I don't have a timeline specifically that I'm looking to hire those people. Well, that person, more likely. but I've been basically trying to get as far along as I can without the person or the role that I need, which is I need to find a composer eventually because I cannot, again, for the life of me, compose anything. I can't do music. I've tried really hard. I just can't do it. Um, and okay, so we're actually gonna do that. And on extinguish, we're gonna say if burn effect does not equal null. Should I go to definition here? And I'm also going to change this. So I'm going to say bool recycle equals false. Mind if I send a long paragraph with something that might interest you? Sure, go ahead. Okay, and then at the end here we're going to say if recycle, we're going to say pool manager, oops, pool manager, oh, and I'm not using common. Hooray! So using sleepyowl.common. And I'm also going to cache my game object here. So I'm going to say private game object, cached game object. And then private game object, cached game object, get return, cached game object, question mark, cached game object, else cached game object is equal to game object. Alright, and I'm just going to recycle. So pool manager.recycle cached game object. So the reason that I cache this is because every time you actually access just regular .gameObject or this .gameObject, Unity generates some garbage. So you actually want to cache things like transform and GameObject references. That way you're not constantly generating garbage every time you request it. Well, that is a long paragraph. Yeah, I'll be sure to look into that. I don't know how useful I'll be there, but it couldn't hurt to look, I suppose. In any case, so we're going to go to interactive object, we're going to do extinguish, and we're going to say true here. So now it will recycle itself when it's done. Although, actually, no, this needs to be a coroutine. Or an update. Okay. Yep, this is not gonna. Okay, we're gonna kind of skimp on this for now. We're gonna say private void update. So we're gonna have an update function, and it's actually gonna do something very specific, which is no. We're not gonna do an update function for now. We're just gonna do a coroutine currently. So using system.collections. Come down here. We're going to say private enumerator. And then recycle coroutine. Pretty much all I'm going to do. I'm going to move this down here. Start coroutine. Recycle coroutine. Okay. Ta-da! And then we're going to have to say while cached particle system dot is alive, I believe is what I want. And we are going to say true for now. We're going to say yield return null. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically saying, okay, I need to recycle myself, but I don't want to do it right away. I actually want to wait until all of my particles are done, they're gone, and then I will recycle myself. That way I don't have just a hard smash cut where it's just like fire and then nothing. So this should actually have us, or give us a nicer gradual effect. So I'm going to go ahead and say burn effect. You know what? I'm going to have to give it a cast transform too. All right, so we're going to go up here. Private transform, cast transform. It's going to be a public one though, so we're going to say public transform, cast transform, or transform. Transform. Get return cast transform. Cast transform. Question mark cast transform. Cast transform is equal to transform. Okay, lowercase c. So we have musicians and stuff who can do music. The idea is Lincoln B. Blue can offer skills for projects you may need covered. Stuck at coding, by the way. I'm on the business side. Love trying to learn code. Yeah, no, I mean that's actually a really smart thing to do. To try and coordinate a bunch of people with different skill sets together. I imagine that actually gets pretty hectic to coordinate properly. All right, so I think that's pretty good. So we're going to say burn effect dot cast transform dot set parent null. Okay, that should work. So yeah, let's try this. So what should happen now is when we pick up the log, it should still extinguish it. Oh, and actually, you know what? I need to change this. So I'm gonna have to do what I was planning originally. So we're gonna cancel here. I'm gonna hit apply. I'm gonna drag this out. Hit continue. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and select. Be lazy for now. Fire, fire, fire. Where are my prefabs? Oh, fine. I'll just do this. Select. There we are. So I'm going to replace this one. Replace anyway. Okay. And we're going to assign this. And we are going to hit apply. Okay. So now it should spawn in. It should all look the same, except now when we pick it up, it should actually have a nicer particles sort of disappearing effect. Not too bad. For the most part, it runs itself because everyone's there for the same reason. That makes sense. So what did we do Tuesday? On Tuesday, let's say burn with lamp. Oops. Yeah, I was a little worried about that. So it parented it, but its rotation is incorrect. So it's facing forward. That's fine though. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen since I don't have a transform override for where it should spawn. That's the next thing we'll have to add. But now I'm going to say take. Dang it! That did not do what I wanted. Let's go ahead and pause. And let's go to global inventory log. Okay, so it doesn't have it. That's fine. That's good. Let's go to pool manager. And let's go to fire pool. Do we have one free? We have one free. Why did it stop right away? Fire effect. Recycle. Oh, you're why. I don't think I want that. Okay. There we are. So Tuesday we started to set up expanding on the sword puzzle that we have. So currently you can light these two torches. Actually, I guess you can't right now because they're semi-busted. Currently the puzzle for this area is there's a sword that's stuck in the pedestal and you can't pull it out until these two torches are lit. And the legend says, you know, like, if you're a hero, the torches will light and all that stuff. But you can just light the torches yourself because no one thought of that. So to make it a little bit more complex, I wanted to have one torch be lightable and the other torch is missing its kindling. So you actually have to bring a log from the cabin in the plains level and put it inside the pit here. And then you'll be able to light that torch and then you'll be able to get the sword. So just a little bit of expansion on the puzzle design. little bit. But to do that, we had to refactor our container scripting, and then we also needed to refactor how things burn. So that's what we're currently doing today. That's why we're doing all the burning stuff. So I'm going to try this again. So we're going to say take, burn with lamp, take. Yay! It worked. The audio cutting out is a little sudden, but it's fine for now. Well, alrighty then. So I don't actually want this to clear. That's fine. That does mean that I need to change our interactive object a little bit. So interactive object is going to get a new field in its burn segment. Let's say public transform burn target. And this is just going to be tooltip. The transform to spawn the burn effect under. Simple as that. Burn effect. Let's find all references. Yep. So that's not going to be transform anymore. That's going to be burn target. Okay. And we're going to go to our interactive object inspector. There we are. Let's see here. Burn effect. We're going to need another field above it. In both cases. Go all the way up here. And I'm going to need to say burn type. Oops. Wow, that did not do what I was planning. There we go. So this is going to be burn target. And burn duration. Burn target. Burn target. Alright, come back down here. And burn target. Cool. So now our log should have a field under burn info for our burn target, which is 9 times out of 10 going to be just an empty object. And there it is. So we have where we're at. We'll see the transform to spawn the burn effect under. Good. Let's go ahead and just copy this. We're going to say burn effect, or we'll call it burn target. Alright, and we want to rotate it 90 degrees in the x-axis. Sorry, negative 90. There we are. Let's go ahead and add that in there, and we're going to say apply. Cool. So now, when we spawn our burn effect in, it should actually be right side up, so it's going to be burning upwards instead of forwards, and then we will be able to do stuff. So we're going to say burn with lamp. Hooray! All right, so that's all working. Now, the question here is, what should we do next? Because it's about 9:30. I mean, it's 9:20, but it's almost 9:30. I round in half hours. That might be a good place to stop for the night. So we didn't quite get to where I wanted to. We didn't get the actual sword puzzle set up. But we do have objects burning, and we do have them burning in a more systemized way now. So it's a lot easier to set up burning effects. So that'll actually be really, really nice for future development, because one of the things that I have to do is a lot of things need to be burnable, because people love to light things on fire. Now, obviously not everything's going to be burnable, but I'm going to try to strike a healthy balance of you can burn most things and have it actually burn them. But we'll see how crazy I go with that. I might just have it char it. I might just have it destroy whatever you're burning, depending on what it is. But either way, think that's a pretty good place to stop for the night. I'm going to go ahead and grab a screenshot of this. Let's see, other announcements that I have currently. No new announcements. So we should be back on Saturday to continue with our Saturday dev streams, picking up on custom content creation. But I think that's all we're gonna do for tonight. I'm pretty happy with getting things to burn. I still feel bad though, Scorpio. I always feel like you're not getting. I'm not. Feel like I'm not going long enough. Feel like you don't get to see enough. Sorry about that. But I do have to go because I actually have to do something for work. And I forgot to. So I need to do that. But that's a pretty good place to stop for the night. So as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching. And I will see you all next time.